AEW's ratings continue to plummet into the abyss while Tooney Khan refuses to acknowledge that there's a problem. So it's just another day that ends in Y. It's time for the Headlock Headlines! Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. Welcome to another episode of the Headlock Headlines here on Tooney Town Wrestling. We are not journalists, we don't break news, and we are not a credible news source. This is just an entertainment channel that's designed to inject a little levity into the wrestling news cycle. WWE has been on a tear as of late, posting strong ratings and strong critical reception to storylines and matches. That's led a lot of outlets to openly praise what's being called by many the Paul Levesque era. The what? Right on cue, we're being joined by our friend Trip from the WWE. Trip, how could you possibly have heat with what I just said?
Never underestimate my ability to generate heat, jobber monster. Now what the hell is this Paul Levesque era? Who the hell is Paul Levesque? And where the hell does he get the medal to name an entire era of wrestling after himself? What kind of unwashed egomaniac tyrant would be so into the very idea of himself that he would attach his name to an entire era of pro wrestling?
Ugh, Jesus, we've been over this before. Paul Levesque is you, Trip. That's your real name.
It is?
Yes, you unbelievable idiot. You are Paul Levesque. People call it the Paul Levesque era because you are the one in charge of it.
That's ridiculous. I know my own name. Sean, fetch my birth certificate. I'll show you, jobber monster, when Oh. Well. Son of a bitch.
So are you happier with the name now?
Look, I appreciate what these people are trying to do by naming a whole era after me, but honestly, I'm just a small part of this much larger operation. Really, it's our remarkable team of talented men and women that truly define this era.
Well, that's extremely humble of you, Trip. I'm honestly a little shocked by that, and I gotta say I'm proud of you. So what would you want to call this era of wrestling?
Look, we're having one of the greatest eras of all time. The Attitude Era doesn't even come close. I think we need a new name that really exemplifies the spirit and excellence on display here. Maybe something like Honor, Honesty, and Humbleness Era.
Honor, Honesty, and Humbleness.
Of course that's a little long-winded. Doesn't really roll off the tongue. You know, we should probably abbreviate it.
Wait, you mean the HHH era?
Still not quite right. There's probably a better way of saying that.
The Triple H era?
There you go. I like how that sounds. Sean, let's make that a thing.
That's your name.
Nope. According to you, my name is Paul Lavalette or something.
So your issue here isn't that people named an era after you. It's that they're naming it after the wrong name of you.
Look, this isn't about me. I'm a silent part of this process. I'm the cog that runs with the rest of the machine. People shouldn't even notice that I'm there.
You replaced the then, now, forever voiceover guy with your own voice.
Well, when you're looking for a voiceover, who has a voice that's more over than da-na-na, da-na-na, me?
You also hold court every month in these press scrums.
Hey, that's not because I want to do it. I have to do it.
Why?
Look, jobber monster, when we have a PLE, what's the last thing that people see?
The press scrum.
The press scrum, exactly. And who is the last person you see on the press scrum?
You.
Exactly. It's the main event spot. It's my spot, ordained by fate. It's needed and expected after all these years. I have to send people home happy.
What, by sitting there in your grandma glasses and rolling your eyes at questions from podcasters?
Hey, you gotta give the people what they want.
How is that giving the people what they want?
Are numbers up or down right now?
They're up, but...
Then there you go.
But they're not up because of a voiceover and a monthly conversation that you have at a table.
Can you prove that they're not?
I mean, I'm pretty sure if I tried, I could.
You just need to accept the cold hard facts, jobber monster. The fact that numbers are up. That's objective reality. If you ignore numbers in objective reality, what would that make you?
Well, that's a pretty obvious cue to bring out. There it is.
TK Tooney Khan, wrestling savior, and he's the bomb. Yeah, he's TK Tooney Khan. He's giving wrestlers hugs, and he might be on drugs. Yeah, he's TK
Greetings to fans of real pro wrestling. It is I, the avatar of harmonious cooperation, the promoter of legend, the man who is single-handedly shaping the Paul Levesque era of wrestling, the one and only Tooney Khan.
Wait, Tooney, how are you shaping the Paul Levesque era?
Because I'm the one making it happen. You gotta give the people those big reactions. You gotta give them that that and pop for that thing.
Wait, give them the what?
You know, the sound that my fans make when they see the huge spots in one of my dream matches. They all go,
Do you think this is like some kind of Hawk Tua situation here? Is that what's happening?
What's a Hawk Tua?
You know, the girl going, Hawk Tua, spit on that thing.
On what thing?
On the... Nope, not going there. However, I am not shocked that you're unfamiliar with the premise. But, Tooney, Paul Levesque isn't a reaction that you are eliciting. It's called the Paul Levesque era because it's named after Paul Levesque.
Wait, who the hell is Paul Levesque?
I second that question.
See, he doesn't know. He's just making things up again and he got caught.
It's sad, really. Another failing YouTuber spreading false information.
I'll hit you with a community note for that.
Tooney, how are you shaping any era right now? Your business is in the toilet.
What are you even talking about? My Forbidden Door was a huge success yet again.
I'm talking about your TV ratings.
Hey, we pulled a respectable 680,000 people last week. One of the top shows on cable.
Well, for starters, 680,000 people isn't respectable. And I'm talking about the week before.
Oh, stop living in the past, monster.
It was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks in the past?
Without the normal Big Bang Theory lead-in to pad your numbers, Dynamite did an average of 503,000 people and got walloped by NXT for 2 weeks in a row.
Wow. I can't believe you'd be so insensitive and offensive, monster.
How is that insensitive or offensive?
It was Juneteenth. How could you expect anyone to be inside watching wrestling on such a well-known and widely respected holiday?
Tooney, you celebrated like you just blew up the Death Star back in December when Dynamite outdrew a Raw clip show that aired on Christmas Day.
That's different.
Okay, how is it different?
Because this is Juneteenth.
What does that have to do with a primetime wrestling cable television show?
People were out having their traditional Juneteenth celebrations.
And what do those consist of?
Oh, you don't know?
I don't, and neither do you.
Of course I know.
What is Juneteenth, Tooney?
It's a holiday. An important holiday.
Yes, but what is the holiday?
It's, Black People Day?
And what does it commemorate?
Black people?
And how does one commonly celebrate it?
You leave out cookies and milk for Rosa Parks? Look, our rating was impacted by 3 things. First, it was Juneteenth. Second, our lead-in was Black Panther. And third, there was a Kendrick Lamar concert on that night.
So you're saying your rating was the fault of Black Panther, Kendrick Lamar, and the people who would commonly celebrate Juneteenth.
Exactly. We would have been doing amazingly if it wasn't for those people.
What people would that be, Tooney?
You know, the people I just mentioned.
Elaborate.
No.
You understand that you and your fans making this argument can be seen as super racist, right?
Racist? Are you kidding me? Are we forgetting who my world champion is?
Whoa, what the hell, man?
What?
Booker T is your champion?
What?
Trip, are you kidding me right now?
What?
That's clearly not Booker T.
I think I know Booker T when I see him. I remember the faces of all the guys I buried in the early 2000s. I can no more forget who Booker T is than I can forget Rob Van Dam or Kane.
Trip, that's not Booker T, that's Swerve Strickland.
Who the hell is Swerve Strickland?
That guy!
No, that's Booker T.
Trip, this is Booker T.
Well, obviously.
And this is a completely different person.
Look, Booker is a master of reinventing himself. Like, remember when he gained 300 pounds and did that whole Hall of Pain gimmick?
That's Mark Henry.
No, that was Booker T. Jeez, pay attention, jobber monster.
It's not.
Wow, way to take away all the guy's accomplishments. What do you have against Booker T?
Trip, Who is this?
Booker T.
All right. Now who is this?
Booker T when he got swole.
No, it isn't. Who's this?
Oh, that's funny, Booker T.
No! Do you think that every black person is Booker T?
What the hell is a black person?
You can't... Okay. Going into WrestleMania 19, you did that whole storyline where you told Booker T that people like him didn't win world titles.
A legendary story.
And you talked about people like him.
Yeah, WCW guys.
That's not what you meant.
Oh, you're telling me what I mean now?
All right, who's this?
That's Booker T when he slimmed down.
Yeah, but who's that with him?
Stevie Ray.
Ah!
Hey, that's not Stevie Ray at all.
Thank you.
It's Swerve Strickland.
What?
Yeah, back when he was more comedic.
All right, that's it. I'm bringing in some backup. The newest Tooney Town Wrestling correspondent is coming in to back me up and bring some sanity back to this show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the ghost of Rowdy Roddy Piper. Ghost of Hot Rod, you with us?
Oh, it's good to be back.
Ghost of Roddy Piper, can you back me up here?
Oh, I sure can, boyo.
All right, is this Booker T?
That's not Booker T.
Thank you.
That's Tony Atlas.
No, stop it. Get out of here. No, we're not ending the show there just because I said get out of here. No, stop being idiots. Everyone stop being insane, offensive idiots. I need someone with a shred of common sense and intelligence to come in here and help me get through this show.
I have arrived. Son of a bitch! And I have late-breaking news to, deliver.
I have a feeling I'm about to long for the Booker T conversation.
My sources have, confirmed that WWE is going to be bringing back Roman Reigns for this Bloodline storyline.
When, Dave?
At some point, possibly, very soon or perhaps later. Definitely before WrestleMania, but also possibly after.
More hard-hitting journalism from Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Slobserver newsletter.
Hey, I've been doing some amazing work lately.
No, you've been getting clowned left and right. First you said Kayla Braxton was having conversations with AEW until she publicly smacked you into the dirt with a Sure Jan meme. Then you said Pat McAfee missed an episode of Monday Night Raw because he was selling an angle with the Wyatt Six, when in actuality he was attending the funeral of a family member.
It was a very elaborate angle with the Wyatt Six.
You're a vile piece of excrement, Dave. A dingleberry clinging to the ass hairs of wrestling, waiting for the loofah of truth to come in and scrub you away from this business forever.
They haven't made the loofah that can get deep enough to scrub me out.
Then you and your sidekick Stick Stickly hosted an interview with Tony Khan where you just let him sit there and lie over and over again while tossing him softball questions about the media rights deal with WBD that still hasn't materialized, and let him continue to call his failing ratings good.
You clearly don't understand how TV works.
No, I do understand it, Dave, and I won't do you the disservice of saying that you don't understand it, because you actually do understand how this stuff works, but you bank on the fact that your mindless flock of rats that converge upon your sour bullshit flute music either don't understand it themselves or don't want to understand it, because the ridiculous things you do to shield this idiot from objective reality is something they all want to hear.
AEW's numbers are respectable.
For most cable shows, sure, but we're not just talking about the numbers here, Dave, and you know it. The numbers on their own aren't the story. The story is prolonged audience attenuation over time. 5 years ago, this company was doing comfortably over 1 million viewers a week, but we've watched as progressively over time, the pool of viewers has gone down, 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 losing more than 50% of the initial audience, and it's still going down. Look at Dynamite from the last week of June. In 2022, that show did 1.02 million people. Then in 2023, it saw 809,000 people. Now this year, it's just 680,000. That's an alarming statistic that would shake the confidence of any network and make any sane and competent leader nervous.
I'm not nervous at all.
Exactly.
You just need to, do the math.
Yes, that's your answer to anyone who questions you, but you never elaborate beyond that. You just tell them to do the math as if there's some magical anti-bullshit equation out there that'll somehow prove you right. But objective reality shows that everything you say is at best an exaggeration and at worst an intentional, misleading, outright lie.
But people are cutting cutting the cable cord.
Yes, another of your common justifications. And for companies like UFC that do a lot of streaming programming, this is an argument that makes sense. But the only place you can watch AEW is on cable. Because unlike shows like Raw, SmackDown, and Big Little Brawlers even, AEW doesn't have any streaming presence on a major platform whatsoever. What do you have to say about that, Dave? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Hey, I think I represented myself well on Dave's show.
I'm sure you do. Whereas I believe that Dave is maliciously trying to manipulate people, I think you've actually come to believe that you are legitimately doing nothing wrong with your show. You actually 100% believe that everything you're doing is amazing and that you're succeeding in a big way.
Of course I do. Most shows would kill for our ratings.
That's not true.
I've killed for less.
What?
Huh?
How can you believe any of this when your ratings have plummeted by such a huge margin over time?
Because of our standing in the key demo. We've stayed consistently strong every week.
No, you haven't. The 18 to 39 advertising demo has also fallen.
What? No, not that key demo.
What are you talking about then?
The most important metric of all. The number of Tooney Khans who watched and enjoyed this week's episode of Dynamite were the same as last week and every week. One very happy boy.
So you're just trying to entertain yourself?
I'm not trying. I'm succeeding. I'm in total control of a wrestling product, and I'm producing what I want to see.
But you're not in total control.
How do you figure?
A bunch of your wrestlers have full creative control.
That's a malicious lie spread by haters and bots. I have total control over the entire show.
One of your wrestlers admitted it this week.
Who would be stupid enough to do something like that?
Mercedes Mone.
Shit.
Yeah, just days before she won her second major title, Mercedes Mone had an interview with TMZ where she said, "I got this. I just think every single week you gotta watch. Yes, I have creative control, but I work with Tooney Khan very closely, so it's a great combo."
First of all, that's not at all what she sounds like. And second of all, while she has creative control, she doesn't use it in any way that I... Oh shit, it's her. I can call her back later. Crap. Hi, Mercedes. I'm just on the show now with the monster, and
I don't care. I want to use my creative control to get another $10 million a year.
Mercedes, I don't think your creative control extends to contract negotiations.
I'm exercising my creative control to say that my creative control needs to extend to contract negotiations.
Damn it. All right, fine. You can have your money, but please, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
There's friends hidden somewhere behind us?
I don't care. You're not supposed to say no to me ever. When you tell me no, my soul feels like my heart says that my gut tells me I shouldn't be putting up with this. Also, I want to leave for 8 months to go play a statue on the next season of The Acolyte.
But Mercedes, I'm paying you so much money and you're contracted to... All right, whatever you want.
Don't worry, Tooney, there won't be a second season of The Acolyte. Now I want to use my creative control to tell you to punch yourself in the face.
What? Why?
Because I said so, numbnuts.
But Mercedes...
Eddie Guerrero!
All right.
Thanks, bye! Wow, she really is mean.
She sure is. But hey, I have to run. Apparently there's some human rights group in the lobby that want to talk to me, and they're really pissed off. I think they're called NACP.
Wait, the NAACP?
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. The representative they sent to talk to me is Booker T.
Yeah, you might want to make yourself scarce.
Already on it. Sean, deploy the shields, just like when DeJacque's agents call for contract negotiations.
Wow. Well, this was a wild week. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'm sorry this episode's a little late. I was traveling most of the last few weeks, and this show is impossible to put together outside the home studio. Also, we're closing in on 5,000 subscribers, and I wanted to let you all know that once we hit that, I will be celebrating by punishing myself for your amusement. I will stream AEW Fight Forever right here on YouTube. So tell your friends, and let's get those subscriptions up. Make sure you're following our sister channel, Tooney Town TV, where we talk movies and TV. We got an Acolyte review up now with another on the way, plus daily Hollywood news content. Join us Tuesday nights live at 8 p.m. EST for Tooney Talk Wrestling, a live stream podcast. And of course, join us on Tooney Town TV Wednesday nights at 8 for our Tooney Talk TV live stream. I'm also part of That Game Place now, the gaming channel for That Park Place, so subscribe over there and tune in for daily content. Please like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell icon to get notified of new videos as they drop. For Tooney Khan, Dave Meltzer, and Trip, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here! No, now! Ugh!